Okay, so I'm going to do my evaluation form for the mastery speech that I did. Okay, so in the introduction, I gained attention by using the 603 million women statistic, and then I showed the relevance to the of the topic to the audience by telling them that this is like an issue that has shown no signs of decreasing, and us as like Americans can help even from like overseas. Establishing credibility. I talked about I cited my sources, and so that was like kind of like my establishing my credibility, I guess. And I remember saying my thesis, and then I previewed into the body of speech by transitioning into saying how I was going to talk about how the issue is very prevalent and how we can help. So in my body, I think I stated my clear main points pretty well. I talked about how this issue has not shown any signs of decreasing, as well as my second body point about stating how, like I was talking about how the women, excuse me, how the women, nobody really likes to help them, and then talking in my third body point about global funding for women and like that link and where you can go and all that stuff. I think my arguments were very strong. The second time around, I think I realized my first mistakes about how I was doing a lot of like American based research, and I was using that, but I branched out and I found more stories. I used another story instead of statistics. I took out my statistic in the intro paragraph because you said that it was too much. And in my body points, I talked about more stories so the audience wouldn't seem so dull. And then I also, what else did I do? Oh man, you told me to do something. About like the whole, using American stuff. I got one of my sources from the UN, and which is what you suggested, and then I also, in my conclusion, instead of just saying like, oh hey, you can help these women by spreading the word and all that, you were right, like that was super thrown in like last minute, but my body point C, I did research, and the Global Funding for Women, that website and that organization is like the biggest non-profit organization for women's rights, and it supports so many people, including people in like Israel, Iraq, Palestine, and Lebanon. That's the one. Okay, so anyways, I totally didn't go through that at all. Supporting material, I think it was well used to support my points. Oral citations, I did that. Effective organization, I think I did well in that aspect. I kind of went in chronological order. Not chronological, but like explaining them like what the issue is, how it's showing no signs of stopping, how prevalent it is, as well as going into stories and like showing proof about this topic, and then going into how you can make a difference. Effective transitions, I kind of just explained that. Like I think I went through it really well. Okay, and then the conclusion was a little bit fast because I didn't realize I had talked so much in the intro and the first body point, and so coming up with the conclusion I kind of missed a little bit of my speech, but I think it was just extra stuff that I was going to talk about. But I did hit like the main points that I restated my thesis. I think I restated my main points, and then I had a good conclusion about like nobody wants to be abused, especially by their significant other. That was kind of my closing of the speech. So I think I maintained eye contact very well. So whenever I used voice for maximum effect. I think I did that really well because I had my laptop like propped up behind me kind of, and so whenever I turned to click the slide, I spoke louder because I had my back turned to most of my audience, and so I remember doing that. I did make some gestures, and then I think I did really well. I think I did a lot better on it this time around than I did the first time. I wasn't so like word for word. I kind of ad-libbed a little bit, and I took away some other stuff that I didn't have time for. I think that's it. But I feel really good about it. I feel like I had an effective delivery this time instead of just like kind of just saying what I knew. Like I feel like I knew more about the topic this time around, and so that way I could like explain it better for my audience again. So I feel really good about it. I think I did a good job. I think I did much better on it this time around compared to the first time around. So that's all, and thank you for being such a good professor. Like seriously, I know my email was like super sappy, but I'm sorry, you've been such a good professor the past 6 weeks, and I've just been so blessed to like be in your class, and I've been blessed by you like as a person, just to know you and to like have your personality around and to get to know you better through Emily too. So have a good rest of the summer, and thank you for being so awesome. Okay, bye!